or the 7 years tribulation period. They are called the post-tribulation. The post-tribulational rapture. The rapture, according to this view, will happen after the tribulation period or God's wrath is ended. The post-tribulation rapture timeline puts the rapture at the end of Daniel's 70th week, 7 years after the first seal is opened and the day of the Lord begins. There are also some who believe that the rapture will occur partly at the beginning, partly throughout, and partly at the end of Daniel's 70th week, or the 7 years tribulation period. Their theory is called the partial rapture theory, and those who hold it are called partial rapturists. This partial rapture diagram shows a series of rapture before the tribulation period of Daniel's 70th week, and partly during and throughout and after it. This is the partial rapture timeline. But the most recent view is called the pre-wrath rapture view. Started in 1990. Those who believe and teach this view believe that the church will go through the second half of the tribulation or the great tribulation, but 3/4 of the way through, the church will be raptured before the day of the Lord's wrath is poured out on the wicked and the unsaved. This pre-wrath rapture diagram shows that the rapture will occur after the midpoint, after the Great Tribulation, but before God's wrath cut it short, and before the end of the 70th week of Daniel. Because the rapture will happen before God's wrath starts, therefore the name pre-wrath is given to it. The pre-wrath rapture timeline places the rapture in between the 6th and the 7th seal in the second half of Daniel's 70th week, before the day of the Lord begins. So it's about 3/4 of the way through the 7 years of the tribulation. Another latest structure view I've just read is the red moon rapture theory. Notice that the red moon rapture timeline shows that the first seal to the seventh seal are open outside of Daniel's 70th week. And the rapture occurs when the sixth seal is open, when the moon turns red, and before the day of the Lord in the seventh seal begins. This is the Red Moon Rapture timeline given in Peter D. Goodsman's book Red Moon Rising. The rapture, according to him, will occur after the sixth seal is open, when the sun turns black and the moon turns red and the stars fall, before the seventh seal is open, when the day of the Lord's wrath begins, which are the seven trumpets blown and the seven bowls of plagues poured out in consecutive order. Notice that the first to the seven seals, including the first trumpet, are all placed before or outside of Daniel's 70th week, at least 7 years before the second coming or the descent of Christ to the earth. If you have gone through the slides and studied with me on the Book of Revelation, it clearly shows that there are two gatherings of God's people at two different times for both groups of Christian saints, the pre-trib and the post-trib. There will be a gathering once before the tribulation of the church, or the pre-trib church, symbolized by the man-child, at least 3.5 years before Daniel's last 7 years, and another later after the tribulation of the church, that is post-trib but pre-wrath, or before the day of the Lord's wrath. And this is symbolized by the rest of the sin of the pregnant woman before the age of grace ends and Daniel's 70th week starts, as revealed in the Old Testament time. It is a pre-post rapture view that's revealed scriptural, and it isn't preposterous at all. This pre-post tribulational rapture chart shows that the rapture will occur in two phases. Once before the Great Tribulation